Alrighty, team. If you haven't already seen this amazing new release from ChatGPT, the AI search function. Now, this is something that's been baked in the back end for a while now, but it hasn't really been accessible or easily accessible as what it is today. And so, what I'm talking about is this little window or this little icon here to search the web. This search the web has only been released in the last few days, or in our instance, it's being rolled out over the next 4 weeks. Typically, what would happen in the past is you would have to type in, can you please, I always use please, but anyway, can you please search the web for ... And so you'd have to prompt ChatGPT to actually go and search the web to get the information you need. Now it's baked in the back end. Why? Because they're doing a big push, they being Microsoft. ChatGPT is doing a big push to essentially dominate Google now. It's like this big race to the finish line. And so I'm just going to write here, can you please provide a comprehensive insight into myself, into Lucas Meadowcroft? And without even prompting to go and do a search on the web, it's now going to go and do a search on the web. And so the great thing about this is it actually provides the links to the information, right? So where is it pulling this information from? My personal website. Where's it pulling this data from? My Crofty website. Where's it pulling this data from? YouTube. Where's it pulling this from? TikTok. So like literally anything that's available, right? And this is obviously a YouTube channel. So it's pulling data from essentially everywhere that's online in the one source. Now, the super cool thing about this is you can now do deep dive lookup on any topic, any scenario, live information globally, which is just like mind blown, next level. And so when we dive into this conversation with clients around what's possible, it's like, we've always been able to do this in the back end, but now you can actually see this and physically try this yourself before even engaging us, which is just absolutely epic. The other cool thing, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a sec. I'll share my other screen. The other really cool, insight that you might not be aware of is this Chrome tab. Now, this is a very interesting feature because essentially I installed this previously. I'm going to install it again just to show you. I had to uninstall it because you'll see the reason in a sec. But essentially, I was asking for an update. Essentially, what this does, it replaces what you'd normally do within Google, right? And so you would normally just type in, say, I'm searching for whatever I'm searching for. I'll just use myself as an example, so I'm not showing anything that you already don't know. And it would show you this Google search, right? This is normal. You get a Google search, and that's essentially how it is. But now the new ChatGPT, is this even the right one? Might not even be the right one. Might be the fake one. I might have chosen the wrong one, just doing it. Here we go. Essentially, what this new version does, and I was testing it before, it essentially is, you didn't see my other screen anyway, because I had to reshare my screen, stop sharing, present, share screen. Let's go window. So essentially, what the new ChatGPT extension does, this would be normal Google search. That's how it normally works, right? Well, when you now search when you think you're searching within Google, you're actually searching within ChatGPT. So it was becoming really annoying because it was popping back up with ChatGPT every time I'd search, and that's frustrating, right? Because then I was creating all these new threads, and I'm very, I try to keep my ChatGPT pretty concise, but you'll see here it created all these new threads, which I wasn't happy with. So essentially, I couldn't even Google anymore. And the main reason I use Google for these days, let me just stop sharing. The main reason I use Google for essentially is spell checking. I can't spell a word. I quickly go to Google, gives me a spell check. I get the new word, copy and paste. I don't use Google for anything else. And so now with embedding ChatGPT into Google Chrome or Google browser, you can now search for anything live with ChatGPT inside Google browser, right? So I'm pretty sure they won't like this, they being Google. And now you have the Google search within ChatGPT directly. This is an absolute game changer, and it's going to be super interesting to see where this race goes, because I know Google won't like this at all. I know there's a big conversation about removing the Google search function by default from an iPhone. that's going through the political state right now. But if you haven't already used this, I highly recommend you do. You can get so much more information from a simple search that you wouldn't have had access to before. And you don't need to go now and search, like for searching for a particular topic. You don't need to go and search to the nth degree on all this information and all these different aspects of the search terms and opening up different tabs and different browsers, because now it will literally tell you the sources inside ChatGPT on where it found that information. And then you can click on that particular source and it will take you to that location. So I'll just show you what I mean. So these are all the different sources. So if I click on a source, it opens up that tab. If I click on this source, it opens up that tab. So each individual tab that I'm clicking on will open up that individual tab. So then you don't have to physically go and find where all that information came from. So it's providing it all to you instantly. So next level, game changer. Highly recommend you dive into it, start using it immediately. All right, peace, guys.